everyone, my name is Carrie. I'm the owner here at The Dog Thinks What, and today I want to talk about the command of leave it. It's a very important command. It really could be a very powerful command if you do what I call supercharge the command, and that is basically work with the dog every single day, a whole bunch of times a day. And it doesn't have to be for a half hour each time, so on and so forth. It could be just a couple minutes. So that the dog really understands the command, and each time, once the dog understands the command, add something that's higher value, and I'll talk about that while I'm working with the dog. I'm so happy that Avi here has decided that he was going to volunteer to help me out. We've never done this command before, so Avi better make me look like a good trainer there, buddy. Good boy. So, leave it. So, how I teach leave it, and I teach almost every single dog that comes through my board and train leave it, one way or the other, but how I'm going to show you today is with a clicker. That's what a clicker sounds like. A clicker is used as a way to tell the dog yes, if you like, or if you have ever heard of the word marker, it marks the behavior that you want from the dog, so you click. That tells the dog that's the behavior that you want. You say yes, and then you reward the dog. That's the very, very, very basics of it. So that's how I like to train leave it. There's a lot of different ways that you can train leave it. I'm not saying my way is the best, but I like my way. The other reason why I train leave it to my dogs is that it is, to me, a very powerful way, I guess, to help train the dog the word yes. A lot of people will do click yes, and then give the dog a treat so they understand that the click and the yes equals I'm going to get something good, and there's nothing wrong with that, but I'm just a firm believer that the dog should be working for something, and it's a really easy way for the dog to learn to work and also learn what the marker is, and also learn that yes means something good is coming. So it has a wide range of value to me, and it's working, so I'm going to keep doing it. So anyway, got my clicker, and what I have is some chicken. You can use whatever you want as long as the dog wants it. You could use kibble, you could use treats, you could use chicken, you could use cheese, you could use hot dogs, you could use whatever. Whatever is going to be good for your dog that he or she is interested in, and is not going to give him diarrhea. So watch for that, because you might give him a lot, and you don't want to have to deal with that later. So what I'm going to do is I got my clicker in one hand. I'm going to put some chicken in the other hand. And I'm going to put some chicken in the hand that has the clicker in it too. So this is going to be very tricky. The one that is having the clicker is the one that I'm going to treat the dog with. So I'm going to put a lot more chicken in there. And the one that I'm going to present to the dog to help train him what the cue or the command means, I'm just going to put enough so the dog can smell it. Trust me, the dog can smell it. So you don't need to put a lot in there. Seal that up so don't spill all over the floor. And I'm going to present it to the dog. Dog likes to smell it. What's going on with that? Yes. Now, when the dog backed away, I clicked, said yes, gave him a treat. Very, very simple. Yes. Yes. And here the dog will start to learn that when I back away from it, that's when I get what I want. Yes. Now if you notice it all, and it's hard with this camera angle, but the dog is definitely looking down on the ground for the chicken. Yes. Yes. So what I like to do, once the dog starts to understand the game a little bit, I'm not saying he knows it 100% right here, but it's a good opportunity to talk about it. He'll start to look at the ground. Yes. And then I'll wait. Yes. For him to look at me instead of looking at the ground. go for it. So that tells me, and I don't care about that right now because that's not the point. Later on I would care about that. That I should check and make sure that it wasn't a fluke. Yes. And then I can up the stakes and I can hand it to him with my hand open. He goes for it, licks it, does stuff. I'm gonna close it because this is more familiar to him. Yes. When he backs away, treat. Yes. And this is something that each dog is gonna learn on his own time. So I'm never gonna get frustrated with the dog. I'm just gonna wait until he understands what I'm trying to communicate with him. Yes. Oh, you found one down there, did you? Back to where he understands? Yes. And I'm gonna, yes, treat. Good job. You're doing so good, Avi. Yes. Now see, that time he got it. My hand was open, he still backed away. Yes. So he's starting to understand, back away from what it is, I get something better. Yes. So that time I waited for a little bit more eye contact. Good job, buddy. Good job. Now he's just looking straight at me, which is awesome. Yes. And if you find that it's too much for the dog, he gets frustrated and you're waiting for the eye contact, he's not ready for it yet. And see, I made it a little lower that time to make it harder for him. Yes. So now I think I can add the cue. So I'm going to try it. Leave it. Yes. Don't name the cue until the dog is pretty consistent in doing the behavior that you're asking. So don't just put it down and say leave it and then expect the dog to know, because it can become irrelevant to the dog. Hey, it's not all dogs. I'm not saying that, but to me I find the best way is wait till the dog's giving you the behavior and then call it that behavior, because then the dog is always going to succeed at, well, not always, but for the most part, succeed at what you're asking it to do. We really, at this point with this game, that's not, every single time, but with what we're doing right here, that's the idea. We want the dog to succeed. It's relationship building. It's learn how to see what yes means, understand the clicker, puppy training, fun, and you can teach it with an older dog too, make it fun, unless it's like really serious and, with what the dog is doing, you gotta gauge that. But for all intents and purposes, this is the best way to do it. Leave it. Yes. Very good, Avi. You're doing so good, buddy. Thank you so much. I'm gonna come down here by you a little bit so I can maybe get a better angle here. Good. So I didn't say nothing. I'm not even going to bother with that. Leave it. Oh, look at that. Yes. So, and that happens some A. No. Yes. And that happens sometimes. The dog is going to go back. Something's different. I moved up here towards the camera. I'm closer to him. He wants to jump on me. Things have changed. Don't get frustrated with the dog. He's going to learn it. Leave it. Yes. So I just went back a little bit, like I closed my hand so not to make it so hard. So the point here is I want the dog to succeed. Leave it. Yes. So here you go. I gave him another chance. I didn't get frustrated, and he's doing just as good as he was before. Uh-oh. I gave you a free one. Leave it. Yes, good boy, Avi. So that's going to be what I'm going to work with him for today. I don't want to spend too much time, and I don't want him to get bored with it. So I think I've accomplished quite a bit right now. So thank you guys for tuning in. I hope that helps somebody. Feel free to message me or comment if you have some questions about this. Yeah, I appreciate your time. Have a good day.